Welcome to the live stream, guys. Penguins Digest. It is deadline Friday. The trade deadline is less than 50 minutes away, about 47 minutes until trades are no longer allowed here in the National Hockey League. And the Penguins, Kyle Dubas has been very busy. I've been on it. You guys probably saw the videos. Multiple videos have been posted on Penguins Digest today, keeping up with the trade deadline. Obviously, Michael Bunting was traded a couple days ago. I can pull that trade up here. So far in this trade deadline. So we're going to talk about that here first on Penguins Digest, recapping kind of what's gone on to date. And then obviously whatever continues to happen as other teams are making trades. Charlie Coyle just got traded from the Avalanche to the Bruins for Casey Middlestat. So Rickard Rakell's the main name that we're going to keep an eye on, and Matt Grzelcyk. Matt Grzelcyk's a pending UFA that we're expecting to be traded at the deadline. And then Rickard Rakell has had a king's ransom attached to his name for a price tag, and Rakell is an absolute beast. So if he is traded, he will generate a heck of a haul for Kyle Dubas, who is continuing to just build up these draft picks. And you guys feel free to use the chat. If you have anything you want to talk about, put it in the chat. We can have a conversation here while this trade deadline is continuing to heat up. I see you guys joining the video. This is a live stream. Penguins Digest coming at you with the latest trade deadline news, and I am paying attention to everything that's happening. As soon as we get any tweets or reports, putting them on the screen, and we'll talk about them here on the channel. So appreciate you guys joining me here today. As I said, we're going to do a little bit of a recap of what the Penguins have done so far, and I do not expect Kyle Dubas to be done by any stretch of the imagination. He is definitely going to make more deals before this deadline hits at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right now, Brad Marchand is the talk of the town as well for the NHL. I think that might have something to do with why Rickard Rakell has not been moved yet, because Brad Marchand, another veteran player, proven playoff performer, a lot of teams are interested in him. Angel Rivera said, I'm still shocked that Bunting got traded. He was decent. And he was very decent for the Penguins, but Kyle Dubas believed that the best player in that deal was actually Tommy Novak. And we heard from that in the video that I posted earlier today about Michael Bunting. And Kyle Dubas really loves Tommy Novak. And I like Tommy Novak as well. So I'm not surprised that he made that trade. Let me get the right one up here. There it is. Luke Schenn and Tommy Novak for Michael Bunting and a fourth-round pick. The fourth-round pick that he got back by trading Luke Schenn. And that's something that we were really concerned about when we got Luke Schenn. Is like, okay, this guy's a win-now player. Why are we getting Luke Schenn in this trade? That doesn't help us rebuild, because Kyle Dubas has said 100 times that he wants to get younger. Well, when we did get Luke Schenn, my immediate thought, and a lot of you guys have posted in the comment section on the videos, that Luke Schenn could be flipped, and here we are. He gets flipped. We get a second-round pick and a fourth-round pick. He is miles better than Bunting. And the other thing about Tommy, he's a really good defensive player, and he's really good at 5-on-5. And that's the problem with Michael Bunting, was he was getting most of his production from the power play. And we didn't want to necessarily keep Michael Bunting as our main scorer on the power play. There's other guys that we can set up. Rickard Rakell's a goal scorer. Crosby scores goals on the power play. So we don't need the power play production, even though that has helped our power play get a lot better this year from last year. There's a big problem for the Penguins last year was that power play. Really, as soon as we brought in Erik Karlsson, our power play, not good. So this year has been a pleasant surprise, but if we're not winning games, does that really matter? I don't think so. Luke Schenn, great stay-at-home defenseman, defensive defenseman, and we ship him away knowing that he was one of the hottest defensemen on the market, knowing that he was a top 10 player available at this deadline. What do you think the Pens' biggest struggle this season is? I mean, biggest struggle this season is closing games out. They've had multiple situations where they've been up in games, and they haven't been able to close them out. They've actually outplayed a number of teams this season and lost those games. It's a matter of when you get up, you have to keep your foot on the gas. And that's something I've noticed with Mike Sullivan teams for a long time. They're not able to play in the third period. They're not able to close out games. And even when they start strong, for some reason they end up losing those games. And now that we're in a rebuild, which Kyle Dubas doesn't want to say that word, but I am, look at the draft picks that we've accumulated. This team's going to turn around really quickly, guys. I mean, we're not that far away. It seems like we are, and people wanted to argue that the Predators are closer than the Penguins right now to being contenders, and that's why they wanted Michael Bunting. I don't care why they wanted Michael Bunting. If Barry Trotz wanted to make that trade and was that gullible to fall for the trap set by Kyle Dubas, hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So right now they're talking about the LA Kings making a move. They did trade for the player that the Flyers just got, Kuzmenko, I was trying to think of his name, Andrei Kuzmenko, just became a LA King. And the Kings were a team that was linked to Rickard Rakell. They were linked to Brian Rust. I talked about that a month or so ago in a video. They were looking for scoring, and they got scoring in Kuzmenko. I was surprised the Flyers flipped him so quickly, because the whole reason they got him was because they wanted to pair him with Mishkov. And Matvei Mishkov has been a stud. But Pens will be good in the next 2-3 years. I agree 100%. Angel Rivera, 100%. I think they'll be good in the next 2-3 years. We're not that far away. I mean, these moves that Kyle Dubas is making right now, he knows. He knows exactly what he's doing. And let's look again at the Luke Schenn trade, because obviously we traded Bunting away. I thought we were going to get a heck of a return for Bunting, but something that I failed to really acknowledge initially was the fact that Luke Schenn was a big part of that trade. It wasn't just Tommy Novak for Michael Bunting. Kyle Dubas negotiated to get Luke Schenn in that trade as well, and then we were able to trade him for a second-round pick and get our fourth-round pick back. So if you think about it, Bunting's value was a second-round pick and Tommy Novak, which is actually really good. So I'm very excited about what Kyle Dubas is doing. I'm excited about the youth. I believe that our Wilkes-Barre-Scranton team and the team in Wheeling are both better than what the Penguins are against the competition in that league right now. So we have a lot of bright players, a bright future just coming up in the system right now. And the important part for Kyle Dubas right now is capitalizing on these pending UFAs. And that's why I thought the Michael Bunting trade was massive, because the Anthony Beauvillier trade was massive because he's a pending UFA. Bunting had another year left, but Beauvillier and Matt Grzelcyk are guys that are going to generate nothing if Kyle Dubas doesn't trade them at the deadline. Because if you pass on getting rid of a guy like Matt Grzelcyk, if you don't extend him after the season, you get nothing. So it's so important to get rid of these UFAs that are under contract just for the rest of the season. We're not competing for anything this year. There's nothing for us to gain by being good in the next month and a half. So we need to trade these pending UFAs and get something to show for it, because they were great signings by Dubas. Grzelcyk and Beauvillier were great players that he brought in on one-year contracts, and he can capitalize on their value right now with teams that need these things. Need to go after young guys like Clark in LA and Michelli in Utah. So Matthew, you probably saw my video that I created a little bit ago about Rickard Rakell being traded to Utah. Matias Michelli was somebody that ESPN said could come over in a trade for Rakell. Now, Rakell has not been traded yet. The Red Wings and Blackhawks just made another trade with 40 minutes to go to the deadline. Rakell should be traded. And I know a lot of people don't want him to be traded. I know there's a lot of debate of whether or not Rakell should be traded. Look at the market right now. Look at what Mikko Rantanen just got traded for. I mean, look at some of these wingers that are maybe lesser than players, like Riley Smith, for example. Rakell's going to get a haul. If they trade Rakell, this is the time to capitalize on Rickard Rakell. He's 31 years old, playing out of his mind. Yes, he is on a line with Sidney Crosby. Yes, he's making Crosby better, helping him get that record for point-per-game seasons, beating Gretzky. That's a big deal, and we need to focus on that. That's important, right? We want Crosby to succeed, but we don't need Rakell. If we can get a first, a second, a prospect, we have to make that trade, 100%. So asking for a lot is what Dubas should do and what he is doing, waiting for a team to provide that. He's not going to bite. He's playing the long game here, and he knows if Rakell doesn't get traded, he can trade him in the offseason. He might not get as much because right now teams are desperate. And I'm looking at Toronto. I'm also looking at Carolina. Carolina is a team that just traded for Rantanen. They took a huge risk trading Necas away to get Rantanen. And now they need a winger. They need a scorer. They lost Necas now, and now they lost Rantanen. So they could be in the market for Rickard Rakell, 100%. And right here, we just got a trade. The Penguins have officially traded Cody Glass to the New Jersey Devils. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it. I don't like it because I'm one of those guys that actually likes Cody Glass. And so trading Cody Glass to the Devils, I'm excited to see what the return is because it didn't pop up yet. If you guys find it before me, throw it on there. But I got everything open right now. I got Twitter open. I got so many chats open with so many people that got information for me. I got TSN open. We're gonna get these trades reported immediately, and we're gonna break them down. So as soon as I see what the details are, I'm popping it up on the screen for you guys 100%. But right now, Cody Glass is the latest Penguins player to be traded. As we're waiting to see what the actual return is for Cody Glass, we'll continue to talk about everything else that's happening. Cody Glass, I'm trying to find the return here, guys. As soon as I get the return, I will throw it on the screen. Charlie Coyle went to the Avalanche. That's kind of old news. I want the Cody Glass news. You guys got some information on who we got for Cody Glass or what we got for Cody Glass as far as draft picks. I would love to see that right now. And yes, Angel, our AHL team is doing great this season. Great day. Just need to find a way to get Graves out of town. I agree with that 100%. Seems they are bowing. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is Raquel is the guy to watch. Obviously, Cody Glass wasn't going to get us a huge return. The Devils are desperate right now because Jack Hughes is done for the year. That's big. Jack Hughes being out for the year is massive for New Jersey. So they are desperate, more desperate than some teams right now. And going to New Jersey, that's a very interesting place for Cody Glass. I don't really see Cody Glass as a player that the Devils would be interested in. But, you know, I'll take it, I guess. Let's see what the return is. Cody Glass was traded to New Jersey. I still have no return here. There is nothing listed yet as what we got for Cody Glass. I like Cody Glass. This is a tough one to swallow, guys. So Elliot Friedman tweeted that out at 2:21 p.m. But he just said Cody Glass from Pittsburgh to New Jersey. That's all he said. So we didn't actually get we didn't get any details of the trade. So we're waiting on that. But in the meantime, we can obviously talk about Cody Glass and what he's done for the Penguins. He's been a very effective player this season for the Penguins. He's been a little bit flashy at times. I've noticed him more in some games than others. And there's a lot of you out there that don't like Cody Glass. So I know some of you are actually kind of happy about this trade, getting rid of Cody. But I like him. I personally am a big fan of his game. I think he's one of those guys that's going to be a bottom six player that's going to contribute defensively. It's not always about putting up the flashy goals and assists. Sometimes you need guys that are just willing to play hockey. And when Cody Glass was drafted, he had this amazing hockey IQ, amazing awareness of when to play offense, when to play defense. Decent enough skater. Like I said, he's not going to get huge minutes for you. I think a third-line center is the perfect role for him. Kind of reminded me of Jordan Staal a little bit. I was a huge fan of his game. Jordan Staal will be missed forever. I mean, Carolina, I really do think Carolina could trade for Rickard Rakell. I thought of that right before we went live. I think that's a legit possibility that Carolina is desperate right now. I think they should go. To New Jersey. He is now a New Jersey Devil. And as soon as we get a return, guys, I got this. As soon as we get a return, I'll break it down. Right now, I'm just waiting to see what we got for Cody Glass. I love that Cody Glass probably got us something. Not sure what that something is yet. So, very interesting. Thank you guys for joining the live stream for sure. I mean, this is really fun. I haven't got to do a live stream on this channel yet, but because it's the trade deadline, everybody's paying attention to us right now because we had more pieces to trade than any other team. Michael Bunting and Cody Glass weren't even guys I thought we were going to trade. And that just tells you how many guys we can trade because it's not just the pending UFAs. It's not just the Karlssons of the world, who I'm hoping is traded. I don't know if he's actually going to get traded, but hey, guys, let's hope that Erik Karlsson is traded somehow, some way. If not, we got summer. There's always summer. But 33 minutes and 40 seconds. That's all we have. 33 minutes and 40 seconds. I wish I could get a clock on here for you guys to show you how much time we have till the deadline. But Glass is the latest Penguin to be dealt. Still waiting on a return. You guys stay active in the chat, though. Anything you want to talk about, throw it in there. We will have a conversation. This is a fun time. You know, probably the most busy time of year for the Penguins. The trade deadline, when you're a team that's struggling, the trade deadline is the most important day of the year because you're trying to capitalize. It's a seller's market right now. We're seeing that. We're seeing that teams are willing to spend big to get the players that they need because the wild card spots are flooded right now. There's so many teams competing for just a couple spots. And let's look back to what we gave up to get Cody Glass because Cody Glass' return is going to come out here shortly. The Penguins acquired Cody Glass and received a third rounder and a sixth rounder. So Glass was a depth forward for the Penguins, 1 year on the contract, $2.5 million cap hit. Predators get some cap relief, and the Penguins get some draft capital. So in reality, he was a cap eater. So if we get anything for him, that's a good thing. If the Penguins didn't plan on really re-signing Cody Glass, then they might as well trade him away. They might as well trade him away, right? I mean, if we're not going to sign a guy and he's not part of our future, why not get some kind of return? And that's what I'm saying about Anthony Beauvillier, Matt Grzelcyk, these pending UFAs that we have to trade. We have to capitalize on this. And Glass is another one. If we weren't going to re-sign Cody Glass, you have to trade him. You have to trade him. And we traded him. That answers your question right there. The tweet from Elliot Friedman. Cody Glass being traded answers the question that we were not going to sign him to an extension. He is not part of the future plans. 25 years old. What do you think we need to do? Better overtime. The Penguins, in overtime and a shootout this season, have been atrocious. And I think it's a speed problem. Because you see all these younger teams in the National Hockey League, and they have all these skilled players. Even the San Jose Sharks the other day beat the Toronto Maple Leafs in a shootout. So it's really about having young, skilled players, and the Penguins aren't built on that. They're still a very veteran team, and after 60 minutes, they're pretty much gassed. They're not ready to play, 3-on-3 hockey and then have a shootout, and we don't have the goaltending either. Preds dumped Glass for cap space. Yep, we've determined that, Willie. Thank you. Yes. And then Matthew said, is it even possible to deal the Graves and Karlsson contracts? It's absolutely possible. You just have to look at the cap going up. And that's what everybody's going to continue to reference, because after this season, the cap goes up every year for the next few years. So Cody Glass can be traded now, and then Ryan Graves can be traded in the offseason, and you're seeing Kyle Dubas start to amend these mistakes that he's made. The bad contracts, the bad trades that he's made, he's amending all of those mistakes right now, and he's trading away these UFAs like Beauvillier. I'm waiting for a Grzelcyk notification. I don't think there's any way Grzelcyk is not traded by the deadline. Third in a minor leaguer? Really? I gotta find that. Cody Glass to New Jersey. I gotta get Twitter up here. Cody Glass to the New Jersey Devils. I will take your word for it, though. If it's a third-round pick, we're taking that. We lead the NHL in top 3-round picks. Over the next few years, we're continuing to add to that. I don't think Novak will be flipped. Brandon, I do not think Novak will be flipped. I think Novak's part of the future for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think he's a very, very solid third-line center. And here's the funny part. That was Cody Glass's role. So because of Tommy Novak, that's why you trade Cody Glass. Because they're both fighting for the same position, and neither of them are going to move to wing. We've seen Cody Glass on the wing. I like him better as a center. I think Kevin Hayes could be moving too. I think a real possibility is Kevin Hayes moving. The only thing I like about Kevin Hayes is that he's a veteran. He's really good with the younger guys. He was a good mentor for Owen Pickering. He was a big reason why Owen Pickering was developing and showing that maturity that he showed a little while back when he was at the NHL level. Waiting for him to come back. Did you see the Cousins got traded? The Cousins trade was nuts. Cousins, Norris was in that trade. I mean, that was a blockbuster. I know I'm calling all these Penguins trades blockbusters, but that was a blockbuster. The Rantanen trade and the Norris for Cousins trade with other assets going both ways, that was insane. LeBron tweeted the return. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Andrew, you've been so helpful. I'm going to find that. So let's get on X here. Let's get that return. Get on Penguins X right now. There it is. There we go. Thank you so much, Andrew. You're so helpful, dude. All right, Penguins. All right, got that now. But thank you guys for joining the stream. This is so much fun. The audience engagement on this channel has been amazing. Since the beginning of Penguins Digest, you guys have been the best. And I expect nothing less from Pittsburgh fans. Come on. We got a little bit more respect than some other fan bases. So I appreciate all you guys for being so kind, always commenting on the videos, keeping me in the now during this live stream, knowing what the return is for my boy, Cody Glass, that just got traded to New Jersey Devils. Update. So Cody Glass from the Penguins to the Devils for a third-round pick, and some minor league players are also involved. So the third-round pick alone, I'm okay with it. Guys, we won the trade. We won the trade with a third-round pick alone. We didn't need more. Cody Glass is an RFA at the end of the season, and we just replaced him with Tommy Novak. So, of course, I'm willing to trade Cody Glass. I hadn't really thought of that until you guys saw me in real time, like 3 minutes ago, realized that. Cody Glass was going to be our third-line center. Tommy Novak is better than Cody Glass, so of course we're going to trade Cody Glass. It makes sense now. Novak might be flipped. Okay, we already went over that. Package picks for a top pick. I mean, that's not a bad idea, Willie. I mean, we could technically trade up, but I wouldn't do it in 2025. There's not any player in 2025 that I would trade up for in 2026. Now we're talking about a loaded draft class that we could get some serious talent. Third and some minor leaguers. Peyton, that's a good trade. I like this trade a lot. And I don't think they trade Novak exactly. Ranting into Dallas was insane. Mike, thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Texans Digest. You guys go follow that if you're Texans fans. I know we're Pittsburgh people here. But ranting into Dallas was absolutely nuts. That changed everything. I blame Mikko Rantanen. I blame Carolina for making us wait on Rickard Rakell. I want Rickard Rakell to be traded, and we can't trade him when Mikko Rantanen is going for Logan Stankoven and 2 first-round picks. I mean, come on, guys. That's the market right now that we're dealing with. And then what else we got going on in the chat? What trade surprised you the most so far? It was still the Bunting trade for me, Angel. I mean, seriously, Bunting, I thought he was going to be kept, but Kyle Dubas knew what he was doing. He obviously saw that Tommy Novak was available, a guy we've been after for years, a guy I've been liking for years. I remember making a TikTok video last year, about a year and a half ago, about Tommy Novak and how much I like his game and how I expected him to be a breakout player for the Nashville Predators, and now he's a Penguin. I've always wanted Tommy Novak on this team, and I'm so happy that we have him. But it was a surprising trade because I didn't expect Bunting to go. I thought he was a Dubas guy. Dubas wanted Michael Bunting, and he handpicked him in Toronto. He handpicked him here, and then now he's gone. Really been enjoying your videos. Live stream is great. Thank you. Thank you, RJ. I appreciate it so much. Raquel needs to go. Exactly, Ty. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's weighing your options, and it's understanding the market. It is a seller's market, and I will say that 10 more times before the end of the stream. It is a seller's market. You have to take advantage of it being a seller's market. There are teams desperate for wingers, scoring wingers. Raquel could be a first-line player. I do like New Jersey as a landing spot for him. I do like Carolina as a landing spot for him. I think it's more likely he's traded to the Western Conference, but I think there are Metro teams even. The Rangers, I saw linked to him at one point. Are the Rangers going to keep buying? Are they going to make a push? They're not in the playoff position right now. So I think there's too many teams out there that want Raquel. It's hard to hang on to him. And if we wait till summer, yes, we can still trade him. But it's capitalizing on this market. There have been 11 trades, 17 players, 15 picks traded so far on the trade tracker, 24 minutes and 30 seconds until the deadline, and then trades will roll in a little bit after the deadline. That's why I started the stream a little bit after 2, because I know we're going to go a little bit past 3. So it's going to be an hour-long stream. You guys keep in here, keep fueling this chat with content. Whatever happens, we're going to talk about it, absolutely. What team do you think Karlsson could possibly go to? Brandon, if you check out one of my videos I made, I think it was 5 or 6 videos ago, where I talked about Erik Karlsson. One of the main teams I thought he could go to was Florida. When they got Seth Jones, that was immediately off the table. Dallas just spent all of their extra LTIR space from Miro Heiskanen on Mikko Rantanen. Now they're extending him. So that's 2 of the teams kind of out the window that I kind of forecasted maybe Erik Karlsson going to. Bleacher Report also reported a lot of teams, 6 different teams that they thought that Erik Karlsson could go to. They were mentioning teams like Columbus because of the cap space. I know I mentioned a lot of different possibilities, but it's really the cap has to make sense. And Carolina's one. Carolina's one that I really like because they have the money now. Carolina has a lot of cap space after moving Rantanen. They moved Nietzsche's. I don't know about the money retained on this trade. I don't think there was anything retained on this Dallas trade for Mikko Rantanen. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Carolina should have the money to take a discounted Erik Karlsson at this point, if they still want him. They were in the running for him back in the day when Pittsburgh traded for him from San Jose. So if Carolina thinks that will help them, I mean, they're trying to make a push as well. I think their team's less impressive than it was last year. They traded for Jake Gensel. Maybe they trade for Rickard Rakell. We've done this before. I love getting their prospects. As I just got another tweet. Let me pull it up. From one of my sources. Wyatt Johnson and Dallas are completing a 5-year, $8.4 million extension. So a lot of you out there understand Dallas is one of the main teams involved right now because of the Rantanen trade. because they traded Logan Stankoven, guess what that does? It opens up a spot for them to extend Wyatt Johnston, who is there. Oh my gosh, Wyatt Johnston's so good, by the way. They just extended him, $8.5 million a year, AAV. That's the move. Trade the guys that are not part of your future. Extend the guys that are. That's what Pittsburgh's doing right now. I would expect them after the end of the season to look at extending Tommy Novak as well. If they believe in Tommy at the end of this year, I would capitalize on that before his value keeps ticking up, and then you need a higher AAV to keep him. Right now, he's a very cheap player, but after the season, if he finishes out good for Pittsburgh, I would extend him. And he's a second-half player as well. That's the thing to note about Novak. He's a second-half player. Always has been. Ask Nashville. Ask any Nashville fans in the chat. Let's see. Trade Raquel and move Gino to Sizzline. See, it's interesting because I know McDavid and Draisaitl have played on the line together, and it's interesting to have that big two, like your two-headed monster, playing on the same line. But I like Gino up the middle. I like Gino up the middle, Rocky. Like, I really do think Gino is a center. He always will be a center. Even if he's slower, I like him in the middle of the ice because it gives him more freedom. I know he's not the greatest third defenseman ever, but the way Gino looked the last few games, guys, Gino's back. So if he continues this for the rest of the season, I think he was dealing with some kind of injury before, and that's what was plaguing him for a while because he was not himself at all. And then once he missed time and came back, now he's himself again. Let's see here. Brandon said, I guess I could understand 28-year-old Novak being part of the future to some extent. We're going to have a hard time hearing Dubas' justification for keeping Raquel. See, Dubas' justification for keeping Raquel is nobody met his demands. He set a king's ransom as the asking price for Raquel, and he should. He's the best player available in the market right now. So why, unless you want to argue Besser, I like Besser a lot, but you could argue now that Rantanen's off the block, it's Raquel. Raquel's the guy, the premier player that teams could acquire at this point. And honestly, I wouldn't mind Besser. I know that's weird to say, but I talked about that in a video before. Besser was linked to Pittsburgh at one point, and that guy could score. So I wouldn't mind Besser considering he's only 28 years old. Get a little bit younger, still have a scoring winger. I'm not saying do a swap because obviously you have more control on Raquel than you do with Besser. Besser's going to be a free agent. Raquel's under team control for a while. So that's what makes him very, very valuable to teams is he's the only player on this board that has term. He's the only one. Can't wait for this game today. Me either. I mean, I'm excited to see what the lineup we roll out is if we keep trading players away. Riley Smith trade. Dude, okay, Angel. The amount of players that are former Penguins that have been traded. Dumoulin got traded. I was like, what? Riley Smith got traded. I was like, what? Tanev got traded. I was like, what? I mean, all these former Penguins are getting moved around. I mean, they're playing musical chairs right now here. I mean, this is unbelievable. And TSN right now is talking about the Calgary Flames and Philadelphia Flyers trade, how the Flyers really wanted Andrei Kuzmenko and gave up Farabee and Morgan Frost, and they already flipped Kuzmenko. As a Penguins fan, I love seeing the Flyers make no sense. I just love it. I love watching them just dysfunctional as ever. It's so much fun to watch. And then, let's see. It's a seller's market. Yep. And if we can keep Raquel, I don't think he gets worse. So, yeah, that's the thing. He has team control. So if you keep Raquel for the rest of this year, you're going to get production. He's going to be your leading goal scorer for the rest of the season. And then trade him in the summer or trade him next year. You have him under team control. It's just the older he gets, if he stops producing at this high of a level, obviously his value is going to decrease. But right now, the reason why I'm saying sell, again, you pointed that out. Seller's market, and he's as good as he's ever going to be. He's peaking right now. So you take advantage of Rickard Rakell at his best, and you trade him whenever his value is at its highest. And Dubas is great at evaluating that. I mean, it's a mountain. It's a scale that goes up and down and always fluctuating. And this right now for Rickard Rakell, it's a high point in his career in value. He was being wasted in Anaheim. I've said that in a video before as well. He was being wasted in Anaheim. When Pittsburgh acquired Rickard Rakell, his career trajectory went like this. He wasn't picking up right away, but as he stayed with Pittsburgh longer and longer, he gets better and better, and he's showing the player he always was. And that's why I think he would trade him right now. Just got home from work. Any big moves? Yes, the big moves. Let's recap the big moves. Michael Bunting was traded days ago. Luke Schenn was part of that trade. We got Tommy Novak, Luke Schenn. We just flipped Luke Schenn for a second and a fourth. We traded a fourth to get him in the first place, so we basically got a second. Okay. Then we traded Beauvillier for a second. Then we traded Cody Glass for a third. So we got a second, and a third. That's today. That's what's happened. And stuff is still happening. They're talking to the Vancouver Canucks right now. And, I mean, that's a team I want to keep an eye on because of Besser. But also, I just think the Canucks are never going to give up. They're never going to give up. They're going to be buyers. They're always going to be buyers. And even if they trade Besser, they're going to look to add. And that was the Drew O'Connor and Marcus Pettersson trade. We have a good relationship with them, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more trades. And then Burns and Karlsson are more... I mean, yeah. They legit hate each other. Yeah, I mean, see, but that's the thing. Karlsson was better after Burns. Obviously, he was better in San Jose after Burns. But that's something that Carolina would do. I don't think... Now, Karlsson has some control of where he goes, and that's really what would stop that trade from happening. But I don't think Carolina would allow that to prevent the trade from happening. I still think Carolina is desperate enough to pull the trigger. It's just, would Karlsson be okay with that? And I think you make a good point there. Would Karlsson accept that? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I'm just trying to name as many teams as possible because I just want to see Karlsson traded. And the more teams we can kind of pair him with, hey, the better I feel about trading this guy. And even if it happens in the offseason. Let's see. Dubas freed up $5 million. Yes. Raquel. Yeah, no real news on Raquel other than we're 15 minutes until the deadline, and Rickard Raquel has not been moved yet. So any new rumors, let me know. Let me know, guys. I mean, I'm trying to follow it as well here on Twitter, trying to make sure nothing crazy happens and I miss it. We got the Cody Glass thing pretty quickly. Cody Glass, he was a cool guy. I actually really did like Cody Glass, but he is no longer a Pittsburgh Penguin. He is now a New Jersey Devil. So is Brian Dumoulin. So that was interesting. They took John Marino from us, and they continued to take our players. Okay, so the latest news from Elliot Friedman was the Wyatt Johnson extension. Before that, it was the Boston and Colorado deal. Before that, it was the Cody Glass deal. So far, guys, we're just waiting for something to happen. It's actually been kind of an 8-minute dead zone here of trades. So nothing else on us. No, Mickey, nothing. We're waiting to see if anything does happen. I was in the middle of kind of a mini recap of what's gone down so far, but as soon as something happens, guys, we're gonna be on it immediately. Luke Shen got traded, yes. Shen requested a trade. Dubas did not want to keep him. But then, Brandon, it goes back to what was said by Dubas and by Barry Trotz when that trade was made. Barry Trotz wanted to trade Michael Bunting for Tommy Novak straight up. And Kyle Dubas said, no, we're not making that trade. I need more. So they threw in Luke Shen for a 4th-round pick, and then Trotz said after the fact, I knew I wasn't getting market value for him, but I really wanted Michael Bunting. Kyle Dubas knew that Tommy Novak was the better player. He basically just played a trick on Barry Trotz and got him to bite. It was just gullibility. Like, hey, is gullible written on the ceiling up there? That's Barry Trotz. So good job by Dubas to take advantage of that and create a market for Luke Shen by acquiring him, knowing that he was never going to keep him. We were never going to keep Luke Shen. So, yes, he requested a trade, but we knew that when we acquired him. We just thought we could get more for him than Michael Bunting. Especially with Bunting being on the IR right now, there's a lot of unpredictability with him and how streaky he was for the Penguins. So good at the beginning of the year. So bad, I should say. So bad at the beginning of the year. Atrocious. And then he got really good. He got hot. And then he got bad again. And it really was that freak incident with the car in front of the arena. After that, Bunting was not the same player at all. And I guess Dubas didn't think he was going to turn a corner because we got rid of him. And we got Tommy Novak, and I'm happy about it. So I'm still refreshing Twitter, guys. Nothing yet. We're keeping up to date, though. Let's go through the chat a little bit more. Burns is gone from Carolina after next season. There you go, Brandon. See? Karlsson to replace Burns. They've always wanted Karlsson. I don't know why. Would he be a fit there? I'm not sure, but they're so desperate right now after the Rantanen situation. Let's see. I just saw a tweet, and it says, if one more player from the Pens is traded today, we'll be short having a full active roster for the game. Oh! Interesting. I don't know if that's... Is that a real thing? So we can't call anybody up from Wilkes-Barre because they have a game? So we have a roster lock? So you're saying we're done? Are you saying we're done? That would be news to me. I didn't even ever heard of that before. Not that we've made this many trades before for me to know about that, but I didn't even know that was a thing. That would be crazy, though. That's the reason why we don't make any more trades. No, we go out there with 17, guys. We go out there. Okay, so let's see. Still got Carolina. Okay. Pickering is in shambles now that his roommate is gone. Is he? Owen Pickering is... I think he's going to be fine. I mean, you lose a friend. That's the business, though, of sports. Like, nobody's safe They know that. You heard what Kris Letang said in the locker room after they got done asking Erik Karlsson about the trades. They asked Kris Letang, hey, what do you think about being traded? He's like, dude, I know this is a business. I've been doing this thing since I was 18 years old. I know it's a business. I know I'm never safe. You can't get too comfortable in sports. And the Penguins have been a team that they've been able to roll out very similar players every year and just make, minor changes around the core has stayed the same, but they've made depth moves and changed around all the pieces around that core. But the core has remained intact for so long. We've been spoiled. But sports, usually, even superstar players don't wear one uniform for their entire career. So we're still waiting for news. I mean, Marchand, still out there. Besser, Raquel. Guys, this is wild. How do you think Novak will do for us? Dude, I think Novak is a perfect Penguin. I really do. Because we need defensive forwards. We need guys that are going to play a two-way game that are responsible players. And the hockey IQ of Tommy Novak is going to come into play. It just is. He is such a good player for us. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see Tommy Novak. I've always liked him. I've always wanted him. Oh, he's so good. He's such a good player. So let's take a peek here. I'm going to show you guys more stuff here. Where's the Tommy Novak? I'm going to pull up my Tommy Novak scale here. I think I have it somewhere for you guys so that we can talk about Tommy Novak's game. Like to talk about Tommy Novak because we got asked the question, hey, what's Tommy Novak going to bring to us? Well, I'll show you what Tommy Novak's going to bring to us. The dude is an absolute beast. Here we go. This will work. There we go. Tommy Novak. There we are. So there's the stats on Tommy Novak. And the thing that like stands out to me about Novak is his 5-on-5. It's his 5-on-5 and it's his defense. Because we talked about Michael Bunting. He was a power play merchant, really. That unfortunately. He was a power play merchant. And all of his goals, pretty much all the impressive stuff that Michael Bunting did was on the power play. And we had to give him a ton of minutes to see that kind of productivity. And I know in the chat, we talked about it before. When he was a bottom six forward, he was irrelevant for Pittsburgh. Tommy Novak can be an impact player as a bottom six forward. And that's why the Penguins know how their lineup's going to set up. And Tommy Novak fits this lineup better. All these draft picks are nice. Playing armchair GM, what do you think Dubas can do to actually turn these players into... Well, that's the thing, JJ. We have to capitalize on these draft picks. And you know you're not going to hit on every one. I'm not going to set some unreasonable goal that we have to hit on every single draft pick. There's going to be a lot of draft picks you're not going to get a good player. And you just understand that. You're taking a gamble every single time. And that's why the Penguins have always valued players over picks because they know that's a sure thing. There's nothing sure about a draft pick, but the higher the draft pick is, better chance you have of drafting a good player. We're getting all these top 3 round picks. Those are legitimate NHL prospects. What do you think the Stanley Cup favorite in the East and the West? It's hard to bet against Florida, man. I mean, the Capitals are obviously a dark horse, but Florida has shown no slowing down this season. You know the Leafs are going to choke. Sorry, Leafs fans. I apologize. Until they prove otherwise, the Leafs are always going to choke in the Eastern Conference. So it's really the Panthers to lose. And the Lightning have come along really good too. Don't get me wrong. The Lightning, with the trade that they made, where they brought back Yanni Gourde and they got Oliver Bjorkstrand, that was a great move. And I still think that they could be maybe in the market for Raquel. I don't know how the money would work. But I know Tampa Bay is never done adding. They love to spend all their draft picks to get more players, just like the Penguins. And they have some decent prospects that they could move around as well. So I would not be surprised to see a team like Tampa, but I do like Washington a lot from the Metro. If it's from the Metro, it's Washington. And if it's from the Atlantic, it's Florida. It's not Toronto, it's Florida. So keep an eye on that. It's hard to top the Florida Panthers. And right now, guys, we're 8 minutes until the deadline. And deals are going to roll in after, but I'm actually getting a little bit of alarmed here that Elliot Friedman's Twitter has had nothing happen in the last 15 minutes. That is not good. So we're continuing to wait, we're continuing to watch, and we're continuing to be tuned into this to see what are the Penguins going to do. We need to know immediately. Anything, nothing. That's crazy. Yep, puck drop at 10 p.m. tonight against Vegas. Is going to be a fun game. Yeah, wishing Cody Glass the best of luck. Out of all the players I thought were going to be traded, I didn't have Cody Glass on my bingo board. I didn't have Bunting on there either, but these guys are getting traded away, and I'm like, huh. I mean, you got to capitalize. It's a seller's market. Trades are actually going to go down in 8 minutes. Yes, trades will be reported after the deadline. It always happens every year. 3 o'clock's not the end, guys. It's not the end. They will report trades that happened that they were waiting on league approval before the 3 o'clock deadline. You can make trades up to 3 o'clock, but trades will roll in after 3 o'clock. We will get more and more information after 3 o'clock. That's just how that works. It's always been that way, always will be that way. That's why I know 3 p.m. isn't the actual deadline, because we're going to be hearing about reported trades after the fact. So don't be alarmed yet. We're in crunch time. Dubas can't be calling 100 teams at once, maybe 2. But I think the max 2 more trades. But Cody Glass was the last trade by the Penguins. That was the last trade by the Penguins, adding to what has been a very busy day. And I'm showing you guys Tommy Novak right now. But it's unbelievable. Unbelievable what has gone down. Trade deadline, guys. It's the most fun day for a team that's selling. It's the most fun day. Novak is top. Hard to call guys up. Did it in advance. Didn't tell anyone reported. See, I feel like I would hear more about that, though. If that was actually the case, what are we going to do? Like, how are we not able to make any more trades? Is Kyle Dubas completely locked out right now, and that's why we're not hearing anything? Because we still need to trade Matt Grzelcyk. Guys, I can do this now because I need to talk about this. We have to trade Grzelcyk. We have to. Because he's a UFA after this season, and we need some kind of return from these UFAs. What we got for Anthony Beauvillier, I think we could get that for Grzelcyk. I really do. There's teams desperate for defense. The way that he has played this season, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Constantly putting on a show. Okay. Yeah, guys, I don't know what's happening because no tweets have come out. So we're almost having to wait until after 3 o'clock for stuff to be announced. You guys keep me in the loop as well. I'm keeping you in the loop. I got Twitter right here. As soon as something happens, I'll pull it up. But Raquel has not been moved. Brad Marchand, Brock Besser, we're waiting on. Those are really the big names. I wouldn't be surprised the Bruins keep Marchand. I wouldn't. Besser, extension from Vancouver, or is the reputation damaged? Because all that's going on there with Pettersson, they got a lot of work to do. A slight L if they don't move Raquel. Exactly, Brandon. That's what I'm saying. It's like Raquel is the main piece right now that I'm looking at. If Rickard Raquel can be traded by the Penguins, we won. We won the deadline. But we have to trade him. That's the problem. We have to find a way to trade Rickard Raquel right now. So, I don't know. So let's do a mini recap again, guys. This is the recap. So the Penguins, before more happens, we might as well do a quick recap. Because in 4 minutes, everything's going to start pouring in. You guys, wait till after 3 o'clock. Everything's going to pour in. The Jets, 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick, they gave us for Luke Schenn. We got Luke Schenn in the Michael Bunting trade from Nashville. We traded Bunting and a 4th for Schenn and Tommy Novak. We just flipped Schenn, got our 2nd round pick. Then, Anthony Beauvillier to the Washington Capitals straight up for a 2nd round pick, 2025, unprotected. We got another 2nd round pick. Can't beat it. Guys, I made a video about that one. I was hype. I was ecstatic about both these trades, about Schenn and Beauvillier. Because I understand, this is... The Hurricanes and Penguins are closing in on a Raquel deal. Guys, the Hurricanes and Penguins are closing in on a Raquel deal, and I just received word, Rickard Raquel is going to Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, Raquel has been dealt to the Hurricanes. Did I call it or did I call it? Guys, I didn't hear anybody else say that. When I saw Rantanen was traded to Dallas, I said Raquel's going to Carolina. Did I not? What's the return? I don't know, but it reminded me of the Jake Gensel situation last year, and here he is, Rickard Rakell, going to the Hurricanes, and I'm happy because I know we definitely got a lot. That's why I'm waiting to see what it is, but we got a haul, guaranteed. Kyle Dubas knows what he is doing. Oh my gosh, guys, Rakell is gone. Just after Brandon said it's an L if we don't trade Rakell. Well, we traded Rakell, so it's a W trade deadline for Kyle Dubas and the Penguins. Let's go, baby. I need Grzelcyk traded, though. Grzelcyk's the last one after Rakell that we have to trade because he's a UFA. He's a UFA after this. We have to trade. Even if it's a third-round pick, we have to trade Grzelcyk. We have to maximize Grzelcyk as well. So let's see what the return is on Rakell. The return on Rakell. Okay. Also reposted by Cam Robinson. He's from Elite Prospects. He said, I'm told we're going to see a handful of noteworthy deals to come over in the next few minutes. Dallas, Carolina, Vegas, all working. And Carolina is going to get Rickard Rakell from the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is huge. Metropolitan Division, rival, and obviously the place where our star wingers go for their careers to die, because Jake Gensel went there as a rental, and now he's in Tampa Bay, absolutely killing it. I'm pretty sure he had a hat trick last night for the Lightning. Oh, I love Jake Gensel. I'm going to miss him forever. Actually, his jersey's right behind me here, because it's the trade deadline. It's the trade deadline, guys. This is what I think of now. Okay, any update on Gibson from Anaheim? I would have loved to have John Gibson, but I don't think there's any way we're trading for him right now. Maybe during the summer, after we get Jari off the books. We have 30 picks in the next 3 years. Clapping for Kyle Dubas. Yes, yes, yes. No, I didn't call it. Speedy, were you even here? Of course I called it. No way. Miko, 1 for 1. Let's go. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? It's a W. Okay. Come on, guys. Very unlikely. Okay. I just want to see what we got. I'm waiting for the tweet here. Come on, guys. Come on. Where is it? What's the return on Rickard Rakell? And then the moves that are going to continue to roll in, guys. Stay tuned. We are not done yet. 10 p.m. puck drop against Vegas tonight. We have no idea what the lineup is going to be. So here we are. Dubas is top. Dubas is the man. Nadeau would be huge for Wilkes-Barre and the Penguins in the future. I'm still trying to find this trade. Where's Rakell? Where's Rakell? Come on, guys. I need Rickard Rakell information right now. Where is this information? Rickard Rakell. Oh my gosh, guys. This is unbelievable. Rickard Rakell. Oh, come on. Give me something. I need a return. How long are we going to have to wait for a return? All the reports are outdated, guys. Come on, give me something. I need a tweet now. Where are the tweets? We need a return on him. Canadiens practice is starting in Calgary, and Patrick Laine is not on the ice. Woo-wee! I love Laine. I'm not saying we're getting Patrick Laine, but that would be sweet. Oh, gosh, guys. Kyle Dubas loves these younger players that we can continue to build around this roster that we're building right now. Okay. Was there just a trade for us? Yes, Mickey. We traded Rickard Rakell to Carolina. We're still waiting on the return. I haven't popped it up yet because we don't have it yet. But once we find out what we got, I will show you immediately. I'm just waiting for the tweet to come through. Rickard Rakell is going to Carolina. We're just waiting to see what we got in return. And then, was Jari doing good in the AHL? Speedy, not really. But he got called up because Blomqvist got absolutely shelled, and we need a goalie. And Jari, I thought maybe was going to have a tryout to maybe get traded by the deadline. I know one game probably wouldn't have done it, but Ned started the last game, so I was like, oh, interesting. Interesting that we called Jari up. You know what's really funny about this deadline? Can we... It did end up being a fire sale, Brandon. It did. It's crazy. Like, Dubas is like, no, we're not having a fire sale. No, he knew he was going to do this. It's the same thing he did with Schenn. When he traded for Schenn, he said all these good things about Schenn, and unbelievable. At the buzzer, what's at the buzzer? Come on. My sources are hearing Brad Marchand to the Panthers. What did I tell you guys? Hey, I said don't doubt the Panthers either. Don't doubt the Florida Panthers. They're making moves. If Brad Marchand goes to the Panthers, they're a Stanley Cup favorite guaranteed. If they aren't already the favorite, they're the favorite. If they get Brad Marchand. I mean, unbelievable if the Panthers get him. But right now, guys, We need to see what this Raquel return is. Friedman, why are you tweeting this stuff? There's already all these teams to follow. I feel bad for Elliot Friedman. The guy can't even go to the bathroom. He has to tweet everything. I mean, unbelievable. Last minute trades. What did I just say? There were 3 teams that are trying to make a deal before the buzzer. Okay, so the buzzer hit. Now is when the deals are going to start coming in, guys. Marchand to Florida. Yep, Marchand to Florida. Yep, that's what we just said. It's unbelievable. If that happened, I hope it did, actually. I hope it did happen. That's amazing. Can we get some returns on these trades, guys? Can we get some returns on these trades? Can we get some returns? Oh my gosh, returns on these trades. All reports. Come on, guys. If anybody sees anything, just say it. Just tell me who tweeted it, and I got it. I have Twitter refreshing here. Refreshing. So the Hurricanes closed in on a Raquel deal, and yeah, we're all calling that. As soon as Rantanen left, they needed a scoring forward, a top-line winger, because that's why they got Rantanen in the first place. They traded him to Dallas. Dallas is cooking, okay? Then we're waiting. Everybody's just walking around the set on TSN right now trying to figure out what's going on. Exactly. Locked for the final. Absolutely. See, that's what I'm saying. So, can we see what Raquel? I feel bad for Raquel. I don't think the Hurricanes are going to do a whole lot. I still think they're maybe worse than they were last year with Jake. So, I feel bad for Raquel. I would have rather him gone to a legit contender. Did any of the other Penguins get traded other than the ones who did? Well, we're still waiting to see if Grizzly got traded. That was one that I thought should have been traded. But I haven't seen anything about Grizzly. Maybe that was one of the ones at the buzzer. It's past 3 p.m. Here's the tweet. It's past 3 p.m. That doesn't necessarily mean there isn't another deal in the hopper for the Pens. The Raquel to Carolina tweet is a fake account. That's what I'm hearing, guys. The rumor of Raquel to Carolina cannot be confirmed. It cannot be confirmed because apparently the tweet was from a fake account. So somebody's pulling our leg. I cannot confirm Raquel to Carolina anymore. We have to wait for more sources. Raquel may not be going to Carolina. Raquel may be a Pittsburgh Penguin still. So stay tuned. There's more trades. Guys, we're on it. We're on top of it here. We got that nixed. It wasn't a real account. But he might still be going to Carolina. We don't know. Could there be a real account that tweeted it? And you don't know. We haven't seen it yet. We're still waiting to hear about Grizzly. We're still waiting to hear about Raquel. We're still waiting for something to go down here at the buzzer at 3 o'clock. Just because it's 3 o'clock does not mean the trade deadline is over here. So stay tuned. We will have it for you. But I am hearing that Raquel to Carolina was a fake Twitter account. So yeah, we were all hype. But Marchand to Florida, I don't know if that was a fake account. Guys, I don't know. I have no idea. So, right now, Dallas, total revamp defense, it's 3, and Raquel is not traded. Well, like I said, that's right. Like I said, 3 o'clock doesn't mean the deadline. 3 o'clock means they can't do any more trades. Trades can still be reported. Trades that were made before the deadline are still funneling in because we don't know until the media tells us. So the trades may have been made, but these trades could continue to funnel through, and then we find out about them 15, 20 minutes after 3 o'clock. So the trades had to be made before 3, but we won't find out till after. Breaking trade is that the Panthers did acquire Brad Marchand, so Marchand is a Panther. We don't know about Raquel anymore because it has not been confirmed. It was a fake account. I said that 5 times now because I can't really believe it. I was so excited for a second. It was fake. Fake excitement, guys. We don't know. We don't know about Raquel. But we know about Marchand, and we know that the Panthers are the Stanley Cup favorite, as they should be, even more so after getting Brad Marchand, a proven playoff player. But now that Marchand, Rantanen, and Lawton, the top 3 forwards per se on the board, are gone, we were waiting to hear on Besser. We were waiting to hear on Raquel, 2 right wingers, the top 2 right wingers on the block right now, both goal scorers. I would argue Raquel might be more valuable because of his turn. And that's why I don't understand how this guy was not traded. So we're waiting to hear if he was traded. I need somebody to validate this for me. Can anybody validate? Can we validate? Oh my gosh. Raquel to Carolina. I mean, that's what I'm worried about, guys. I love that the Panthers made this trade, but we care about the Penguins here on Penguins Digest. So we want to know, did Raquel go to Carolina? Marchand to Florida is official. We said that. But Raquel to Carolina is not. We're still waiting. I hate that fake accounts do this because we all got hyped for no reason. The Canucks officially kept Brock Besser. No moves coming. Canucks are done for the day. So Besser kept, which means Raquel was the hottest name on the block. And as of 1 minute ago, there's the tweet. Have been told, despite heavy interest in Raquel, the Penguins are not trading him. Yep, that's what Andrew just said. Wow. So Raquel did not get moved. Interesting. I would like to see what those trade offers looked like. Because it's saying that interest was heavy in Raquel. But Raquel did not get traded. Interesting. And LeBron just tweeted a few minutes ago, Marchand to the Panthers. So the big trade at the buzzer was not the Penguins, ladies and gentlemen. It was not the Penguins. It was the Florida Panthers acquiring Brad Marchand from the Boston Bruins. That was the big trade of the day, and it beat the buzzer. Penguins did not move Rickard Rakell, and as far as I know, they did not move Matt Grzelcyk unless a trade piles in here at the buzzer. But we got excited here on Penguins Digest. We thought Rakell was going to Carolina. And guys, this is why you don't believe fake accounts, because we jumped there. The report was that Rakell was going to Carolina, but it could not be confirmed, and it never did get confirmed. So Rakell held on to by the Penguins. We're 10 minutes past the deadline. I was waiting to see if maybe Grzelcyk got moved. That was the one UFA that we had to move. Rakell has team control for a few more seasons, which means it wasn't a necessity to trade Rickard Rakell. But for me, it was a necessity to trade Matt Grzelcyk. That was one of the guys I needed us to move for a draft pick. He will not be under team control after the season. He will be an unrestricted free agent. Maybe they really like Grzelcyk. Maybe they really like the fit that much that they're planning on extending Matt Grzelcyk. And as long as that's the case, I'd like to see a deal done then. If we're keeping Matt Grzelcyk, I'd like to, give him the deal so that we know. But if he's lost at the end of the season, that's a real bummer for the Penguins. So, recap, Rickard Rakell was rumored to go. He didn't go. So the only real trade we got here live on the live stream was Cody Glass to New Jersey. That's it. What are my thoughts on P.O. Joseph? I've given my thoughts on P.O. Joseph a few times. I used to love that dude. And when we traded for him and brought him back, I was like, wow, that'd be cool. We got P.O. back. He's done nothing. He's been a very disappointing player for the Penguins. The Pony Express, Andrew Filipponi, for those of you Penguins fans out there that follow him. I love keeping Rakell. This is what he says. Let Sid go for the points per game record. Do right by your star player. Then entertain offers for him in the summer. Yep. Okay. I agreed with that too. Canes were done for the day. No moves coming. That came 2 minutes ago as well. So the Canes not trading for Rakell. Rakell is a Penguin. Crosby's got his line mate still, that's a positive to take from it. King's ransom. Yeah, exactly, JR. So we're okay with this. We're okay with this. I wanted to trade Rakell, but I'm okay with not trading Rakell. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm okay with it. So, guys, yeah, Bruins traded Carlo to the Maple Leafs. That was the big move that the Leafs made. So, shockingly enough, they wanted him, not Grzelcyk. So we hold on to Grzelcyk. So Karlsson's not getting traded, Drew. The offseason will provide a lot more teams that he could be traded to because of the salary cap going up. Once the cap is raised, Karlsson can be moved a lot easier. Rakell, because of his salary, could have been moved here at the deadline. It was very unlikely Karlsson was moved, and now we find out that he's not moved. Rakell, yeah, exactly. That's right, yeah. Rakell, 3 years left. No rush to move him. So yeah, guys, I mean, we the only trade we had on the live stream was Cody Glass, believe it or not. So I mean, I guess we go back to that. Cody Glass was the only trade that we got during the live stream. That's kind of wild. Cody Glass was the only player traded by the Penguins during our live episode of Penguins Digest. You guys were killing it in the chat. You guys were all over it. And yeah, that was tough. A tough pill to swallow that we didn't trade Raquel. But the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Hey, let's keep him. But Maple Leafs acquire Marchand at the buzzer. And then, Panthers and the Maple Leafs acquire Brandon Carlo. So Brandon Carlo to the Leafs, Brad Marchand at Panthers, both gearing up for a Stanley Cup final push. Panthers more likely than the Leafs, as we know, the choke artist of the Leafs. Getting a big defenseman, though. Carlo's nice. So good job by the Leafs making that last-minute trade. Let's see if we have anything else. We better sign Grzelcyk. I agree. Matt Grzelcyk needs to be re-signed since we didn't trade him. And then, yeah, I agree with not making Sid unhappy. Karlsson's a great player, but doesn't fit with the Penguins. Agreed. Let's trade him in the offseason. Maybe even Raquel in the offseason. After Crosby breaks that record. I should do lives more often. Hey, dude, if more happened, I would. But the trade deadline was a perfect example to do live because then I can engage with you guys a little bit more. You guys are commenting 100 comments on my videos sometimes. And I love that. I keep that up. I mean, I love that. But I can't really respond. I do respond to every comment. Those of you that have commented know I respond to every comment. But it's easier for me to respond in real time. So if you guys are putting, comments in the chat, we can have a conversation. It feels more personal. And Crosby, favorite player, of course, Penguin till he retires. And I talked about that Pens fan as well. I talked about Crosby never leaving Pittsburgh. We knew that was a hoax. Okay, Biz Nasty wants Crosby to go to the Avs, and he's wanted that for a while, but it's never going to happen. Crosby will retire a Penguin, and that's not going to change. As we never would have thought Cody Glass would be traded. And that's the thing, Pens fan. The reason he was traded is because we got Tommy Novak. That's why. Tommy Novak takes his spot as the third-line center on this team. Because now we have a third-line center, which was, in my opinion, the best spot for Cody Glass, you're not going to pay $2.5 million to a fourth-line center. The other guy I'm really upset that didn't get traded is Noel Acciari. Now, I know we can trade Acciari during the offseason, but I'm upset a little bit about Grzelcyk unless we extend him, and Acciari has to be moved during the offseason or maybe next year's trade deadline. And let's see, maybe on some big games. Oh, dude, absolutely. I've actually thought about that as well because I actually like to call the games. I like to do play-by-play, and I used to do play-by-play for some of these Penguins games, like on a stream on YouTube. So I thought about maybe just having a conversation with you guys during some of these games, and I think that'd be a really good idea to help this channel out a little bit. Why do people love Cody Glass so much? I think Cody Glass, it's his defense. It's the hockey IQ being in positions that he needs to be in, and Tommy Novak does that better than Cody Glass. So Cody Glass isn't going to flash the scoring prowess. I mean, every time the guy gets a chance to get a shot, he doesn't put a whole lot of mustard on it. I know he doesn't have that scorer's touch. He never was going to be a goal scorer. He never was going to be a playmaker, but he's a defensive center, and that's what you need is a checking line center. Somebody's got to do it. He's big enough. He's not as physical as I'd like him to be, but Tommy Novak's better, and I think we got an upgrade. What is Tomasino's contract? Tomasino is one of the most team-friendly contracts ever, but he's due a raise at the end of the season. He signed a one-year deal. I believe it was $850,000 or $875,000 last year. Insane at this. And I think for him, he's going to get a big raise for the Penguins because he's done so much for us. Tomasino has done so much for us. I really like Tomer, and I think he's going to get a huge raise at the end of the season. Not like a huge raise. I hate to guess. I say at least 3 AAV. At least 3 for Tomer. Because I feel like he earned it. I feel like he's been really good. I wouldn't mind paying him $3 million. $275, sure. But he's definitely getting more than what Cody Glass was getting paid. $2.5, he's getting more than that. So Tomer, he'll get a raise at least 3 times maybe what he's currently making at $875. But that's why you bet on yourself. He signed a team-friendly contract with Nashville. Then we traded for him mid-season. It was a great move. Let's go Pens. Best comment. Let's go Pens. And then nothing on us yet, Nikki? No. Because we didn't do anything. We held on to Raquel. It was a fake tweet. And I'm going to pull up a summary for you guys. I'm going to pull up a trade summary so that we can really dive in. Pittsburgh Penguins trade summary. so that we can just kind of show you guys what has happened so far for the Penguins. So let's pull it up here. The trade deadline is over. There it is. Okay, here's the three main ones here. Let's pull that up. Puckpedia, thank you so much for giving me that. And there we go. All right. Bring it into the graph for you guys here and show you the recap of the 3 trades made by the Penguins. The Cody Glass trade was not yet on here, so obviously we know Cody Glass was traded for a 3rd-round pick and a couple of minor league players, and that's kind of what we expected today was a lot of trades for top 3-round picks. It just wasn't the players that we really thought were going to be traded. I was